Hello, my name is Kennedy Cox, and today I will be explaining how Prozac affects the synaptic functions in our brains. First, I am going to show you how a normal synapse functions so that later I can compare Prozac's effects to a normal synapse. Here you can see a normal synapse functioning, but to understand how it truly works, I am going to slow it down. Here you can see an impulse being sent to the presynaptic neuron, or axon terminal, that causes calcium ions to travel through the ionic channel to stimulate the vesicle. The vesicle merges with the presynaptic membrane to release the serotonin neurotransmitters into the synaptic cleft. The serotonin merges with the protein receptors on the postsynaptic neuron, or dendrite, transferring the signal to the next neuron. Once the neurotransmitters have sent their signal, they are returned to the presynaptic neuron by transporters. They are re-encased in a new vesicle while the calcium ions leave the presynaptic neuron. This process allows the synapse to reset before receiving its next signal. Now that you know what's happening, the sped up version should make more sense now. Now let's move on to a synapse under the influence of Prozac. Let's note that Prozac is meant to treat anxiety and depression, and that synapses under the influence of depression typically have less serotonin in each vesicle. Here is an example of a synapse affected by Prozac, but yet again we must slow it down to fully understand. I want to begin by saying that the cut-off arrow on the left side of the screen is meant to be the starting impulse sent to the presynaptic neuron. The synaptic functions begin with an impulse being sent to the presynaptic neuron. This causes the calcium ions to enter the axon terminal. The calcium ions stimulate the vesicles and cause them to merge with the presynaptic membrane. The vesicles release the serotonin neurotransmitters into the synaptic cleft just as they had in the normal synapse. But as the serotonin attaches to the protein receptors on the postsynaptic neuron, the Prozac encroaches into the synaptic cleft and clogs the transporters. Prozac acts as an inhibitor and blocks the transporters from being able to return the neurotransmitters to the presynaptic neuron. This causes the serotonin neurotransmitters to be trapped in the synaptic cleft, where they fire their signals over and over again. This causes the brain to receive more signals of pleasure due to Prozac inhibitors. The trapped neurotransmitters are replaced in the axon terminal, while calcium ions leave the presynaptic neuron once again. This allows the synaptic cleft to be reset and ready for the next impulse while still being under the influence of Prozac. Now that you understand what's happening in the synapse, I hope that helps you understand how Prozac works in our brains.